Hi everyone, it's Rebecca, and I'm going to be doing a kind of a vlog video, I guess. So the general topic for this vlog is going to be bullying, kind of. So, basically there's three main types of bullying, I guess. You know, there's physical, verbal, and cyber. And, you know, it used to be that everyone thought physical was the worst. But the thing with physical is, you know, scars, I mean, unless you, like, you know, kill someone or something, but, physical wounds will heal, but, you know, wounds left behind by words won't as easily. I mean, they can over time, but, you know, so verbal and cyber are the ones that are definitely worse, I think. But, I'm kind of gonna be talking more about verbal and cyber, mostly cyber though, because I guess that's one that's kind of newer, because, you know, it used to be like there were, you know, no computers, there weren't cell phones, there weren't phones that you could call someone and start threatening them or something on. You couldn't send people messages through internet just because there wasn't any. And now, you know, as there is, and a lot of people my age, or just people in general, are getting more, you know, with the internet and stuff, and computers and phones, they're less getting more around it, like centering around it. This verbal or cyberbullying is definitely more of a problem now, and I have had some experience with bullying. I have never really been bullied. I mean, maybe, you know, like a little, like someone would insult me or something, but I don't really consider that bullying, because what bullying is basically a repetitive behavior that the person, the victim, we're going to call it, feels in any way hurt or put down or insulted or whatever, but it has to be repetitive. If it's just one time, that's not bullying. It's usually about repetitive, usually by the same, you know, group of people or person or whoever's doing it. And I'm not going to pretend like I was the victim in the situation, because I wasn't. And I wasn't a bystander either. I actually was the bully without realizing it. I guess I kind of was the bully slash bystander. So what happened at the beginning of last year, it's really not that big of a deal. It's just really the biggest encounter I can really think of that I had with bullying. I do not know what my hair is doing. I'm really sorry. My hair is like just gross today. But, and so there were these kids on my bus, and I'm gonna call them Bob and Joe. And so, you know, it was the beginning of last year, so they would, you know, like, ask to see my phone and whatever, and it's like I didn't have any bad messages on or anything like that, so I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it was kind of because it was the beginning of the year, so I wanted, you know, people to like me and stuff, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'm not going to say no, obviously. So I let them see my phone, and they were like, oh, can I text them? They were just actually asked, can I text some people, or can we text some people, or whatever. And I said, yeah, sure, go ahead, just, you know, make sure you tell the person that it's you texting, not me. And so they did, and they texted these two girls who were going to call them Lola and Anna. I like those names. And so Joe texted Lola, or no, sorry, Bob texted Anna a really nasty message, calling her a bunch of names and just insulting her really, and it was just really mean. I obviously don't have it on my phone anymore, but I just got a new phone, so obviously I don't have it. I'm not going to read it to you, even if I did have it, but it was just really mean. I was saying, like, oh, it's me, but it was just really mean, and I saw it after he sent it. I'm like, why did you send this? Like, why would you do that? And he's like, well, because I hate her, she's a bitch. I'm just like, oh, okay, because she was, Anna, she is the kind of person who likes to cause drama and likes getting the attention and stuff, and there was just a ton of drama that happened in grade 6, which kind of sounds lame, but it was in grade 6, and yeah. Anyways, so I guess he was still remembering that, and he just sent that, and I was just like, okay, that was kind of mean, but I didn't do anything about it, you know? And then the other person, Joe, he sent Lola a few messages, and honestly, they weren't bad. I didn't think they were bad. After I read them, they were just kind of saying, because she had dated this boy, who were going to call Drake, and they'd broken up or whatever, and she, oh, sorry, I'm really tired, just like 11, but so they broke up, obviously, and he just sent her a message basically saying, oh, Drake had a sex change, that means he's a girl now, blah blah blah. But he wasn't like insulting her or anything. And basically what happened is both Lola and Anna told their moms, and the moms told the school board, or not the school board, like the principal. They called the assistant principal or whatever, and they told him what was like going on. And so at the beginning of last year, in grade 7, we got called down, all 3 of us got called down to the office, but what happens is when someone is in trouble, at least in my school, they don't like sit on an announcement, it's just a phone call. And so we all got taken in, and I was like, what, why are we here? And then Bob was just like, oh, I think it's because of the text messages, and I was like, oh, like, do you think they told their parents or something? And so I was kind of freaking out, because I was like, well, I didn't send any text messages, I can't get in that much trouble, right? Yeah, I was wrong, because so our principal took us in, and I actually ended up getting in more trouble than either of the boys, because it was my phone, obviously, and thank God they did fess up, or not fess, they did admit that it was them, because, you know, I could have just written, oh, I'm this person. That's the thing about cyberbullying, you don't know who's sending the message, you don't know who, you don't have to know if the person's identity if they don't want you to know it. It could just be this random old 50-year-old guy who's insulting you for no reason, and you don't know who they are or what they want, just, you know, because they feel like it. That's why it's kind of scary. But so I got in a lot of trouble, and basically what my principal told me is if I didn't send or show the text messages to my parents, I would get suspended for 2 weeks. And we all had to like write notes and stuff like that, and just, yeah. But basically what I learned from that is I was the bully without realizing it, because I was kind of a bystander too, because it was my phone, obviously. That's the thing. Don't let people text from your phone, unless it's someone you really trust or whatever. But always, you know, ask if you can see the message before, because you don't know what they're going to send, and it could get you into a lot of trouble, because that's the thing, you don't see the identity of the person who's sending the message or calling or whatever. And I didn't do anything about it. I knew they were sending the messages. I saw them after, and I kind of got in the phrase like, why did you send that? And they stopped sending them, but they did, and I didn't tell anyone about it, and I didn't text the person saying, I'm sorry. I mean, one of the people, Anna, she texted me back, and she was like, something, and I was like, that wasn't me, that was whoever. And she was like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, no, seriously, it wasn't me. But, you know, like, obviously she didn't have to believe me. So the thing is, the thing I learned about that is just be really careful about how you act around people, and what you choose to ignore and what you choose not to. Because when you, like, you know, sometimes you just see people, like, going down, and someone, like, pushes someone into a locker or whatever, or if someone, like, accidentally ran into me, I mean, I wouldn't say this, but, like, let's just say someone ran into someone else, and they just, like, retard, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, even if it's just, like, it seems like the littlest thing to you, I'm not crying, by the way, I have allergies. I think I have allergies or something, because the whole night my eyes have been tearing up, and my nose has been running, and so my voice is kind of gross. But you don't know what that person's going through at the time. You don't know, they could be having the worst day of their life, and you wouldn't know. I mean, they're not going to tell you, oh, my parents are getting divorced, my grandma just died, whatever, my dog, we have to put my dog down. They could be going through all that, and you would never know. So, and you could be contributing to it without knowing it, without realizing it. You could be pushing that person over the edge. They could be having the worst day of their life, and they could be really good at showing it. I mean, really often the people who are the biggest victims who ended up showing suicide, what you always hear after, I didn't know, they just didn't act like it, you know, like they just acted like their normal self, but alone, when they're at home alone, they could, you know, be crying themselves to sleep every night. And so you don't know what that person's going through. So whenever someone, like if someone like accidentally runs into you, or if they're having a really bad day and they snap at you or whatever, I mean, sometimes obviously they're going to snap back, if that person's always like that or whatever, but like if they're just a really big jerk. But just, you know, try to kind of just be nice about it. I don't know, but you just don't really know what that person's going through. So yeah, I don't know. And also, don't lend your phone to people. Yeah, and because you know, there's always just that one kid in your class that no one really likes talking to, or a lot of people pick on, and no one really knows why. And they could be the sweetest person inside, so, you know, don't be so quick to judge. And yeah, I don't really know, I'm just kind of doing this all from my head, I'm kind of improvising about all this. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, also, if you know someone who, if a close friend of yours is getting bullied or something, I mean, don't be a bystander. If you see something like that happening, I mean, obviously stand up for the person. Or if you don't want to stand up, what you can do, because, you know, sometimes, like, what if the bully turns on me? What you can do is you can tell your teacher or your school counselor or something like that, and you can just say, you know, please don't mention my name. And they can call the bully to the office and talk to them about it and just say, oh, you know, I've been hearing that you've been bullying this person, and that way you don't have to be involved, but you can still do the right thing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'm probably going to think of a bunch of other things to say after I turn this off, but okay, thanks for watching.